Parliament and Provincial Legislatures Act 2004. Please be informed that by law you are required to answer fully and satisfactorily all the questions lawfully put to you, or to provide any document that you are expected to produce in connection with the subject matter. In connection with the subject matter of inquiry, notwithstanding the fact that the answer or the document could incriminate you or expose you to criminal or civil proceedings or damages. Lieutenant General Fani, you are, however, protected in that evidence given under oath or affirmation before a House or a Committee of Parliament may not be used against you in any court or place outside Parliament except in criminal proceedings concerning a charge of perjury or a charge relating to the evidence or documents required in these proceedings. Please be aware that in terms of Section 17(2) of the Powers, Privileges and Immunities of Parliament and Provincial Legislatures Act, a person who willfully furnishes a House or Committee of Parliament with information or makes a statement before it which is false or misleading commits an offense and is liable to a fine or to imprisonment for a period not exceeding 2 years. You will be required to take an oath or affirm that the evidence you are about to give shall be the truth. What do you elect, Lieutenant General Fani, oath or affirmation?
I'll take the oath.
If you take the oath, you will follow me as I dictate. May you please say aye and state your full names.
I, Molefe Isaac Fani,
swear that the evidence I shall give
swear that the evidence I shall give
shall be the truth,
shall be the truth,
the whole truth, and nothing but the truth.
and nothing but the truth.
And so help me God.
And so help me God.
Thank you so much, Advocate Zikalala and Lieutenant General Fani. It is your time now. I want to wish you good luck.
Thank you, Chair. Before I start our discussion, Lieutenant General Dr. Fani, I want to deal with just a few housekeeping matters. Committee members, before you should have a witness statement bundle, which encompasses his witness statement and annexures. And then you should have separately before you also an exhibit bundle that's about 20 pages. And those are the three bundles that we will work through together. Good morning again, Lieutenant General Dr. Fani. You hold two designations. You're both Lieutenant General and you're a doctor. Just for purposes of your evidence this morning, I wanted to find out how you would like for us to address you.
Anyhow it pleases the House.
Would it then be appropriate if we referred to you as General Fani in the same way that we've referred to other Lieutenant Generals that have been before the committee? And maybe let me then start from there. You have the designation of doctor. Can you tell us where you obtained your doctorate?
I obtained my doctorate at Da Vinci Business School.
Say that again.
Da Vinci Business School.
At Da Vinci Business School. And what is your doctorate in?
I did my doctorate in Management of Innovation and Technology with specialization in strategy management.
Thank you very much. Dr. Fani, you've been called before this committee to be able to assist us in relation to, in particular, two of the terms of reference. And so if you were to go to your witness statement at paragraph 3, page 3, we in your witness statement, you outline at paragraph 7, 7.1, and 7.2 the two terms of reference that you will be speaking to in particular in relation to the procurement and alleged procurement irregularities regarding the healthcare contract that was eventually granted to Mr. Matlala's company. That is at 7.1. And at 7.2 in relation to other procurement-related matters. Is that correct?
That's correct.
Thanks. So just to kick us off, could you give us your background in relation to your professional background and how you find yourself in the position that you are today?
Thank you very much, Honorable Chair. I started my career as an engineer. I did chemical engineering. And I worked initially as a researcher, and then I moved into operations, into production, into project management. I joined ESCOM. In ESCOM, I occupied various positions, started off as the engineer, moved to being an operations support manager. Later on, I transitioned into procurement. That's where I started my procurement career at Grootvlei Power Station in Mpumalanga. I left ESCOM and I joined CSIR. I was with ESCOM for 13 years. I moved to CSIR. I was there for 5 years, purely in a procurement environment. I then applied for a job in Gauteng as the policy coordinator, Gauteng Provincial Treasury, as the policy coordinator. I was then seconded to go to procurement to assist the person that was leading procurement in that space. Moved to a Central Energy Fund under AEMFC, where I was also group procurement manager for the mining company, wholly owned by government. I then moved to National Treasury as a chief director, responsible for transversal contracting. And the last year of my stay at National Treasury, just over a year, I was the acting chief procurement officer. And when the opportunity presented itself at the South African Police Service, I then applied for a job where I am currently as the divisional commissioner responsible for supply chain management and assets.
Thank you, General Fani. Just to confirm, you joined the South African Police Services in and around August of 2022?
The 1st of August of 2022, yes.
So you've roughly been in this position for just a little over 3 years?
Just over 3 years.
And you are the Divisional Commissioner of Supply Chain Management?
Correct.
I just want to refer the committee to the organizational structure, which is in the annexure bundle at page 10. It's annexure MF2. In relation to your direct reporting lines on annexure MF2, are you there? Mm-hmm. So this is the organizational structure within the SAPS in relation to your division, which is the procurement one. And you are the block just immediately below the National Commissioner. That's the position that you hold?
That's correct.
And below you, the rest of the supply chain services then would fall. Is that correct?
Get that?
I was saying then below you, the rest of the supply chain heads and various components within the supply chain department then report to you.
Correct.
Correct. Thank you. So, in relation to your evidence, before we get into the details of the contract that was eventually awarded to Mr. Matlala, I thought it might be of assistance if you were to take the committee through the usual process within which procurement is done within the SAPS. Just take us through the various steps that will follow. And so I'm going to ask you to turn to about paragraph 13 of your witness statement. Let me know when you're there.
I'm on 13. It's not the procurement process, it's the BAC process.
Thank you.
Honorable Chair.
That's the section that's headed the SAPS procurement framework.
That's on page 6 of the statement.
Yes, on page 6.
Thank you very much.
So, just at a high level, your witness statement already details how the procurement process within the SAPS, but if you could take us maybe through a step-by-step of how kind of the initiation of procurement projects up until we get to contract signing. Maybe we can take each step at a time.
Thank you very much, Honorable Chair. I would like to start by indicating that the procurement policy or the national instruction that governs procurement within the South African Police Service stems from the National Treasury regulations that are promulgated in line with PFMA. And within the South African Police Service, we've got the national instruction. The national instruction gives us a method and methodology of how procurement will take form and shape within the departments. Working together with the national instruction is the delegation of authority document. The delegation of authority would then clarify some of the delegations that are given in the policy if they are not expressly indicated in the policy. Governed with that or coupled with that is the appointments with regards to delegation by the accounting officer, giving specific delegations to functionaries within the organization. So procurement process typically starts with the compilation of the procurement process, a procurement plan. The procurement plan is normally put together and submitted to National Treasury around March, April of each year. The procurement plan indicates all the procurement needs that exist within the organization and the needs that needs to be satisfied through a tender process. Any other need that has to be satisfied through a quotation process would follow a different process, which is also indicated in the procurement policy of the South African Police Service. Now, the policy of South African Police Service differs from all other, but they are all aligned to all other organs of states, but they are all aligned to National Treasury prescripts. Now, once the need has been quantified and has been put in the plan, various environments in compliance to the policy would then activate procurement needs individually. Just for an example, this health risk contract was or had prominence in the procurement plan and was activated by the end user that the procurement process must.
Indicated that they would like a particular good procured. What is then the next step?
Once the need has been activated, we then assemble a team that would look at the bid specification, because we need to have quantification of the specification.
Okay.
Now,
just General Fanny, just for purposes of committee members, in the exhibit bundle, there's intended to be a flow diagram that shows the various committees that are involved. Unfortunately, it didn't print properly, so there is now a loose leaf that indicates the various committees involved. So what we are now starting with is a discussion about the bid specification committee. You can take it from there.
Thank you very much. The BEAT Specification Committee's responsibilities is twofold. One would be to confirm the existing spec, its relevance, or to craft a new specification for the acquisition of the goods and the services that are required, as identified in the procurement plan or as identified by the need that's activated.
So, in trying to use maybe a bit more layman language, when we talk about, identifying the particular spec, this is essentially the committee that says you want to procure a particular item. This is the various requirements that must be in the item. If you could give us an example of just how that specification or process is done, just,
Right. Each need would follow a unique process depending on the type of need that has been identified. For an example, if you're looking for an existing component for an existing product, you would then have to craft the specification for the product that you are looking for. If it is for a service, it will also take a different form whatsoever. There are some of the services that would require additional mandatory requirements, such as if you're buying health products, you would then have to have SAPRA accreditation or other types of accreditations that are required.
Okay. So, for example, this is the committee, and you'll correct me if I'm wrong. This is the committee that says if I'm procuring skipping ropes, are they skipping ropes that will be made of leather or will they be made of material? Those kind of requirements. That's what the committee will essentially be specifying, those details for people who want to bid.
Correct. We would then have to prompt in terms of what the need was. Remember, the acquisition of a product would be to satisfy a need. It could be a means to satisfaction of the need. We need to establish what the need is and how we will satisfy that need. So the bid specification committee will then look at the how product or the how the need would be satisfied.
Thank you. How is that committee then composed?
The committee is, we as the procurement, once the end user nominate, or once the user indicate to us that they have a need for a goods or a service, we will then write to them and ask them to nominate members to serve in the committee. It is a practice in South African Police Service, and it is stipulated in the policy that the divisional commissioner in that space, because of their delegation in terms of finance accountability, they would be the ones that commit service. They will then nominate individuals to serve in the bid specification committee. The component head responsible for demand will then also nominate individuals from procurement space